This will be the most top-tier Damascus steel Chinese chef's knife you've ever seen. It was personally forged over several months by the strongest Chinese warrior in the forging competition. The entire knife is interwoven with thousands of layers of steel patterns, forming a unique four-leaf clover lucky pattern. Initially Jesse, who decided to forge a Chinese-style chef's knife himself, simply because he wasn't used to Western-style kitchen knives. Little did he expect that as soon as this knife came out of the forge, it was snapped up by a mysterious buyer for $50,000. Don't underestimate this small chef's knife. The forging technique used to make it can be said to be extremely complex. First, he stacked 40 layers of Damascus steel billets. After heating them up, he directly used a stamping machine for initial forging and fusion. Then he polished off the surface impurities. Next, he used a self-made W-shaped pressure mold for forging. This operation could control the direction of the internal patterns. After the steel billet was reshaped, he used a regular mold to stretch and elongate it. Subsequently, he cut the elongated steel billet into 6 equal parts and entered the second stacking stage. Before stacking, he pre-soaked the steel billets in acid to test the direction of the patterns. After confirming that the patterns were perfect, he immediately stacked the 6 steel billets again and re-welded them. After heating was completed, he directly started the second round of forging and fusion. Although the entire forging pressure was strong, there were no cracks between the steel billets, and the fusion was perfect. Then he used a stamping machine to forge along the diagonal direction of the steel billet, further compacting the internal pattern lines. After confirming that everything was correct, he stretched the steel billet to the specified length and cut it into 4 equal parts. Through acid soaking, it could be seen that the patterns at this point were already quite perfect. However, Jesse, who wasn't satisfied with this, he rearranged them according to the pattern lines and welded them again. Then he used a stamping machine for forging and fusion and completed the stretching and elongation. After cooling, he cut it and observed the pattern changes again through acid soaking. Could be seen that the 4-leaf clover lucky pattern had already taken shape. Now it finally came to the last 4-in-1 stacking. To ensure that nothing went wrong, he even welded all the seams on the 4 sides completely. After 2 cycles of stamping, he also polished the seams to check the effect. After confirming that the fusion was perfect, he continued to stretch and shape it until it was close to the size of a chef's knife. Then he quickly inserted it into sand for cooling. After a night of cooling, Jesse, who cut out 5 square pieces at a 125-degree angle, this could display the patterns on the outside of the chef's knife. Now all that was needed was to piece them together, and the job would be almost done. However, to ensure absolute safety, Jesse, who cut 2 pieces of soft steel for a 3-piece clamping, after stretching the 3 steel billets to the same size, he could proceed with the 3-piece fusion and preliminary shaping. After completing the above operations, he used a cutting machine to cut out the rough shape of the knife's tan. Then with a heavy hammer, he hammered out the bevel of the chef's knife. As for the knife handle and guard, Jesse, who chose to use the remaining Damascus steel scraps from before, he directly welded them on both sides of the blade and forged an integrated guard. After that, he performed a normalizing treatment on the blade. This was a crucial step to strengthen the blade structure. After the basic blade shape was adjusted properly, it came to the most important quenching stage. He was very satisfied with the final result. After some fine polishing, the knife shape became even more perfect. As for the knife handle material, Jesse, who spent hundreds of dollars to purchase desert ironwood, after assembling